Hi, I'm Brendan Kelly, Libertarian candidate for the New Hampshire House of Representatives, and this is NFG. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to present some good Libertarian discussion at the Hampton Rotary weekly breakfast meeting at the beautiful Ashworth Hotel here in 5-star Hampton Beach. This is my first presentation to a non-Libertarian audience. By the end of my stint, I'd like to check to see if there are, in fact, some Libertarians in the audience. I'm going to assume that most of you have little knowledge of the Libertarian Party. Here's what I have learned since talk show host Gene Burns convinced me that I was a Libertarian many years ago. I liked the basic principles, so I started voting for all Libertarian candidates that I saw. In 1999, we moved to New Hampshire from Massachusetts, and I thought New Hampshire was a much more Libertarian state, so I thought maybe I should get more involved. So I joined the National Libertarian Party and the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. I started going to meetings, the regular monthly meetings, and getting introduced to it, and I discovered that the Libertarian Party was not actually a political party. I didn't know that when I first started going. I thought it was a regular political party like the others, but it's not. And then I was starting to get a little bit disillusioned about it because I didn't think we were going to get any place. But after 5 years, I was doing that. But then in 2006, there was a movement within the party to reform the Libertarian Party into an actual political party. And that year, I went to the convention in Portland, Oregon, in 2006, and got all excited because we were actually going to be turning into a real political party. And when I came home, I told the people here in New Hampshire about how excited I was that we were going to be a real political party. Next thing I knew, I was chair of the Libertarian Party and running for office. So it had a big impression on me that we were actually going. So in terms of being a political party, the Libertarian Party is very young. We've only been starting it since 2006, although you've heard about the Libertarian Party for almost 40 years now. Basically, we're about freedom, personal responsibility, and as little government as is necessary. To me, freedom is simple. Harm no one and do whatever you want, with the emphasis being on harm no one. I want to give you a chance to ask me any questions you may have on the Libertarian Party, but first I'd like to see how much you know about our current government. As you know, it's divided into many agencies which are easily remembered by their initials. I want to see how many you are familiar with. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Environmental Protection Agency. Everybody's favorite. Internal Revenue Service. A Libertarian favorite.
Drug Enforcement Agency.
Drug Enforcement Agency. Central Intelligence Agency. Now when you put all these agencies together, along with Congress, the executive branch, and the judiciary, you end up with this.
Okay.
Now this may actually be what you think it is, but to me, it stands for non-functioning government. This is what we have, is non-functioning government. And the reason we have non-functioning government is we are asking our government to do things it has no business doing in the first place, and it's not capable of doing. Government is really not where you want to have real good functionality if you really want to get something done. So I'm looking to change this NFG into something different, and that would be nonsense-free government. If there's any request for service from our government and it's unconstitutional, we the people recognize that it is unconstitutional and instruct our representatives to vote against it. This may be wishful thinking, but it's my goal. The main reason I'm so excited about this opportunity is some of you may be the ones that get it and will be willing to take part in the restoration of our nation. Only 1 in 10 is able to take part. The other 9 are born followers and just aren't capable of leadership. As it was in the American Revolution, 10% did all the heavy lifting, while 90% spent their time checking the wind direction. This is my personal observation of what has happened to our country. I believe the Libertarian Party has had it right all along. The main problem is we've allowed 2 political parties to join forces to take power from the people who elected them and work together to ignore our Constitution for their own advantage. If we had honest representation, there would be no such thing as a professional or lifetime politician. Our representative should be paid for their 2-term limit, an adequate salary, and expenses. Upon completion of their term, we owe them a thank you, but no pension when they return home. I could accept an exception for those who are elected as president. With volunteer representatives who know full well they will be coming back to join us in the community supporting freedom, we should have serious change in how our government operates. It's up to us to demand change. I feel there are under 1 million of these hooray for me and screw you types who have clawed their way to the top of our political system. I'm looking for that 10% who are willing to demand change by getting in their faces and attending rallies for freedom. That would be 30 million protesters. I'm certain the How Great I Am crowd that is in charge now won't be hanging around for the showdown. Now, many in the Republican Party believe that they can change the system from within. I doubt it. Just look at how they treated Ron Paul, who my wife claims is the first elected official in Washington, D.C. that she felt wasn't lying every time his lips were moving. Before I give you a chance to ask me some questions, I'd like to have one more brief quiz. These are yes or no answers to see if you may be a libertarian. Is it okay to rob your neighbor?
No.
Is it okay to hire someone else to rob your neighbor?
No.
Is it okay to elect someone to rob your neighbor? Vote Libertarian. Thank you for your time, and I'll be happy to try to answer any questions you may have.
Wow.
Thank you for watching. The time for change is approaching rapidly. Why not now? Why not here? Please donate to my campaign to restore our American Republic from the bottom up at BrendanKellyLPNH.com. Thank you.